This is Jack Carr, and you are listening to Son of a Blitch.
You got your ninth book about to come out, Cry Havoc, October 7th. And there's a little bit of an origin story here with Tom Reece, James Reece's father, as far as Cry Havoc. And I want you to kind of lay that out. Give us a little synopsis. Where are you bringing us there in 1968? And let's roll with that.
Yeah. So the book was supposed to come out in June, and that's coming out in October now because I didn't really anticipate how much extra work it was going to take, how much extra time it was going to take to write every sentence through the lens of 1968. So I didn't want to have this benefit of 50 plus years of hindsight and incorporate that in a different character's perspective on events in 1968. I really wanted to have their life experience up to that point, no matter what they were, whether you're a GRU agent from the Soviet Union, or you're a French doctor working in Saigon, or you're somebody in MACV-SOG, or you're a businessman in Saigon. Whatever character you are, I wanted your life experience up to that point in 1968 to be the only perspective you'd be able to give on an event, or take to a certain problem set. So that ended up taking a lot longer than I expected. But the first review came out this morning on the Real Book Spy, so people can check that out. And it's a good one. So you never know till you get it out there. I mean, you pour your heart and soul into these things, and you never really know until it gets out there. But his review is amazing. Says it's the best book of the year, and just couldn't be more humbled by the review, and thankful for it as well. But yeah, 1968 Vietnam, Tom Reece, MACV-SOG. It's really an espionage story that's set in Saigon, 1968. So it's I haven't really seen that done in a while. So there's some inspiration for it comes from The Quiet American by Greene, and there's a couple other ones out there. Tears of Autumn by Charles McCarry. And so those kind of ones, but they're older. They're from the ones from the 50s, ones from the 70s right there. So it really hasn't been done in a while, and I wanted to really set an espionage story in the past, and not just in Washington or Moscow, but in Saigon, so in really the hot zone of the Cold War. And yeah, I couldn't be more thrilled with how it came out. And but it really turned into more historical fiction, because it took so much, and you're not just making it up. It's not contemporary, so you have to go back and look at the names of streets, and now they've changed. Or what were they when the French took over, and what were they when now when if I'm looking up something, oh no, this is from post 75, so like that's not right. So I have to. It took a lot of time, but yeah, I'm fired up to get that out there. And from the very beginning, I made sure that I put in or I hinted at compelling characters that people would want to read about later. So mainly the Reece family and the Hastings family, Rafe Hastings' dad and grandfather, and James Reece's dad and grandfather as well. So I wanted to have options to explore these different family lineages out there. And so this is the first book in something like that. And for how much time it took, I don't know. It might be the only one. I'm not sure yet. That took a lot out of me this last year. But yeah, out there October 7th, and yeah, I'm fired up.
You know, when we were talking about Cry Havoc a second ago, I wanted to make mention too. One thing that you do that is you're supporting local bookstores, independent bookstores, by having a signed and shot through edition. Can you tell people a little bit about that and where they can go on your website to go ahead and order those? I got my copy reserved. I can't wait. I love having anytime that they've come out. I love supporting local bookstores. I think it's super important. And yeah, if you just want to go ahead and plug that if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, it started during COVID, when everyone was locked down, and these smaller independent bookstores were locked down to foot traffic, essentially. So I was trying to think what I could do to help support them during COVID. So I started with these book plates, which for those listening or watching, they're essentially large stickers that you sign and put into a book. And I had some artwork done on those, so you could only get them from these independent bookstores if you wanted them. So kind of make a collector's thing, give people an incentive to go to these independent bookstores, even though it might take a couple extra minutes, rather than hitting the easy button on Amazon. That's obviously very quick, but you can't get one of these things there and on Amazon. So did that. Everything sold out right away. Did that again for the next book, The Devil's Hand. And then the one after that was In the Blood. And that's really a sniper-centric novel of violent resolutions. That's what that was the theme that guided that writing process. And so I decided I'd do something different for that one, because it was a sniper-centric book, and wanted to shoot through a title page. And Simon & Schuster had never done something like that before, so they sent out a bunch of paper paper that's the same thickness as a paper that gets bound into the book. And then I did some experimentation with different calibers and how many of those I could put together to shoot through, and then sent them back to Simon & Schuster, and they did a test run and to see if it would muck up the printing process or not. And so figured out what calibers work, how many pages I can stack together. So I stacked 50 together, put them between two pieces of cardboard, wrap it really tight, and then in this case I shot through it with a Carr 15, a clone from Colt. So it's the same type of a rifle that the guys used primarily in MACV-SOG in Vietnam, going into Laos, Cambodia, and other places as well. So shot through those title pages and signed them and sent them back to Simon & Schuster. And now the independent bookstores that are linked on my website are the only places that you can get those. So it's just a way for me to continue to support those independent bookstores that are really up against it when it comes to kind of to Amazon and all the distractions that are out there that are keeping people from reading today.
Is there anything that you'd like to say to your friends, your family, your fans, all those that have supported you over these years? I just want to see if you had a message you'd like to leave with them.
I'm just so thankful. First off, I feel extremely fortunate, and try to be thoughtful about all I do. So it's not, it's not just the books today. It's the podcast, and it's a blog on the website, and it's a social media post, and now it's TV shows, and now it's the nonfiction, and there'll be other things in the future, hopefully. But I try to be thoughtful with all of it, and for whatever reason, there's an audience there and a readership there, and I just feel extremely grateful to anybody who took a risk on me early on as a new author, especially with all these other distractions out there, and then told a friend, because really that's what did this right from the get-go. There wasn't, I wasn't on Joe Rogan right out of the gate. Chris Pratt didn't mention optioning the show right out of the gate. I wasn't on Tucker's show out of the gate. That took a few years for anybody to say anything or to have me on any of those shows. So it was really grassroots from the beginning. It was, posts that I'd put up, or somebody picking up the book and telling a friend, whether it was at work or a family member at the dinner table, or somebody putting it on their social media and saying to their 10 followers that they just read this book and really liked it and recommended it. And maybe one of those people then read it and then told their 20 followers, and then maybe two of those people got it and then told their followers and or friends or family. So I just feel so fortunate, and that's why I try to as much as I possibly can get back to people and hit that like button and thank people on the social channels, because I really do feel grateful that they took a risk on me and they've continued this journey with me, and it just means the world. So I try to let everybody know that every chance I get.